following pre-recorded program is a part of the video conferencing series produced by the Instructional Technology Support Center at Middle Tennessee State University. The program series provides quality educational programming for K-12 teachers and students in the region. For more information about our programming, please visit our website or contact us via email or telephone.
Welcome to the Satellite and Webcasting Center at Middle Tennessee State University. I'm Connie Schmidt, your program producer. Pat Jackson is our director. I'd like to welcome our satellite viewers, our cable television viewers, and our webcasting viewers. We invite all our participants to call in with questions today on our toll-free telephone line at 1-866-904-8352. We're delighted to have back with us today Dr. Zaf Khan, who is a faculty member in the Department of Elementary and Special Education here at MTSU, and he also directs the Positive Behavioral Supports Initiative for MTSU. His presentation today is Check-in, Connect, Check Out, a systematic approach to behavior management in at-risk students. I'm going to turn it over now to Dr. Zaf Khan.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to my second satellite presentation. My name is Dr. Khan, and if you're just joining us from East, Middle, and West Tennessee, welcome to Positive Behavior Support Initiative. I was reminded, when I started this presentation, I was reminded about a student of mine. His name is Josh. Joshua was a very, very special student, in the sense that he was so special that I knew him the day he came in, the day during a lunch break, afternoon, because he was always in trouble. Always in trouble. And this was about 10 years ago. It happened on a Native American reservation in South Dakota called Tierspazina Tribal School, actually. That's where I was at that particular time. Joshua always got into trouble. He was always in the face of people. He was disobeying the rules. He was completely oppositionally defiant. And at that time, all of the teachers just gave up on Joshua. By the way, Joshua, quite the character. He was also gifted, highly creative, but creative in different ways when it comes to behavior. But his teachers just couldn't get along with Josh. So what I did, they consulted with me, and at that time I was a special ed teacher, and I said, Joshua, here's what we're going to do. In the morning, every day, I want you to come in and we're just going to talk for about 5 minutes. And I thought, 5 minutes? Yeah, let's do that. And what we're going to do, Josh, is I'm going to record some stuff down and I'm going to ask you some questions. And what that 5 minutes is going to do, Josh, is going to set the day for you. And I said, why, let's try this. And this was about 10 years ago. So I did that. Every morning, Josh would come in. I would sit down with him, set the tone for the day for him, ask him about his classes. What's it going to be like? What is he going to anticipate? And during that conversation, I did not know that I was doing something called pre-corrections. And that's what I was doing, actually pre-correcting anticipated deviant type of behavior that was going to escalate during the day. Because, Josh also had an attention deficit disorder, okay? And very impulsive. When he was in class, most of the time he would spend his time just in the face of others, not completing his assignments. He was always late, turned in homework late. So his life was very chaotic, very disorganized, and started to show up in his behavior. So anyway, Josh would meet with me for 5 minutes, and he would check in every morning with me. And then we did this for about 4 weeks. And then in the afternoon, I told Josh, just before school's out, you need to come back, and we just need to have a debriefing for 5 minutes. And what I did was I actually kept some data on Josh, and I looked at his behavior, got his teachers to rate him on a specific scale, and he would carry this piece of paper from class to class, not knowing, and this intervention that I was doing is now called Check-in, Check Out, also known as Check-in, Connect, Check Out. It's something that just came about in the last 5-6 years that got national recognition. I just got back from a wonderful conference in Chicago. And at that conference, we heard all kinds of exciting stuff about this check-in, check-out, connect. But the story about Josh was a very successful one. After about 9 weeks, he was adjusted, he acclimated, his grades started to improve, few office discipline referrals. Did not hear a lot about Josh after the 9th week. And that was good news because I didn't want to see Josh in my office all the time, consistently. So the check-in and check-out that I put in place for Josh at that time served one purpose, was to get Josh to self-regulate, to look at his behavior and try to find ways that he could improve. So he had, what was beautiful about this procedure was it was always instant feedback that he got from his teachers, letting him know where he was on any given day just with that sheet of paper. Not only that, I also shared the results with Josh's mom at home, who was very interested in Josh's behavior at school and academics. So Josh then got into the gifted ed program, and he continued to stay in there, and he was able to regulate his behavior. Now, why am I telling you this? There's a lot of money being invested in the system right now from the federal level and at the state level. Let me show you exactly what I mean, okay? I'll tell you how important this is. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up a slide on my desktop, and I'm going to share with you a spreadsheet. This spreadsheet that you see right now, and I hope you can see this at your locations, is actually a school in Chicago called the Mark Twain Elementary School, and this is an actual PBS chart of office discipline referrals. I just want to share this with you and show you what one principal did as a result of using PBS in this elementary school when he started, and I actually got to speak to him. He said, Dr. Khan, in the year 2001 and 2002, when I took this position as principal, we had 268 office discipline referrals. And as you can see, through the implementation of PBIS at that time, he is so confident and feels so great about the fact that now in 2006 and 2007, he has brought that down to a low level of 38. Okay? Now, this is just one success story that I want to bring to you today. There are several other success stories in Chicago and all over the country. So what I want to do today is I want to share this wonderful concept that is a secondary prevention measure. If you all remember that pyramid that I talked about in my first presentation, which I'll share again, check-in, check-out deals specifically with students who are at risk, however you might define that in your school, okay? So here is an example. Furthermore, let me show you something else. Let me show you actual numbers and data of Mark Twain Elementary School's suspension rate. Look at that. In 2002, 2003, 54 suspensions per year. That's high, very high. And as a result of the full implementation of PBIS, we brought that down to 32, 15, 1, and then 4. So at Mark Twain Elementary School, you can see that PBIS is really, really working. Now let me show you what this does to achievement scores. This is the actual achievement scores to date of what happened as a result of PBS. Look at that. Take a good look at it. Yes. Look at the reading scores. Look at the math achievement after PBIS. So what this tells me, folks, is that what PBIS is going to do for your school is it's going to give you back learning time. It's going to give you back what good teachers do, is that teach and not deal with so much of behavior problems and infractions on a day-to-day basis. So that's why I want to engage you today in a conversation about check-in, check-out, because it is a method that has been proven. It is scientific. There's a lot of research behind it. Two researchers behind this idea. One is Rob Horner, and the other person is George Sugai, who are part of the PBIS network. And by the way, if you want more information about this, please go to www.pbis.org. There are lots and lots of information in there. So I think I've made my case. I think I've got your attention today, and I hope that you would continue to think about it. If you are at a school at an elementary level, if you're at a school at the middle school or the high school level, please feel free to contact us. We do serve the Middle Tennessee region. If you're within our region, we will come down to your school at no charge to do an assessment, to do a survey of your current system, because what we believe is what you have is good, but we want to make that better. And PBIS will do that for you. It is a systematic attempt at looking at behavior so that you can take back more time to teach and get boys and girls to achieve in math, science, and social studies and all of the other areas. Okay? So basically, I wanted to share that with you. And the second piece I wanted to share was an email from the office of Barack Obama, which is right up there, sent to one of the schools in Chicago, complimenting the principal of this particular school. And I will read, if you cannot read off your screen, it's an excerpt from the Obama press, specifically talking about PBIS. And it states, "The results are impressive. Lincoln Elementary School in Chicago Heights reduced cases of students being sent to the office for fighting by nearly half over the course of a year. Springfield High School decreased out-of-school suspensions by 38%, so students could learn more. By reclaiming 180 school days that would otherwise have been lost to suspensions at Mark Twain Primary School in Kankakee, disciplinary referrals decreased dramatically from 268 before PBS compared to 38 last year. And at that same time, ISAT reading and math scores are all-time high. Over 700 schools in Illinois are already using PBS. Now, the question I have for Tennessee is, where are we? Where should we be? Why aren't we getting there quicker? So I invite you today to rethink your strategy of behavior management in your schools, and I want you to invite the possibility of bringing in PBS to your school so that we can do this wonderful work of working with you at a systems level. To give you more examples of what's going on in our country on a national level, here is a handout from the Illinois PBIS Network report. In this handout, you will see right here, every year there is an increase in participation of schools actually wanting and needing the support of this PBS concept. So it is very much well and alive in the area in Illinois. Here is more graphs and charts to explain to share with you other schools what they're doing with PBS. There's a lot of research in this particular one. You can tell there's a lot of research. There's questions we're asking. So how do we reduce the number of referrals, and how do we put these in place? And what we've found is that PBIS is starting to work. Okay. Here is another example: Pine Valley Elementary School, and this is in Wilmington, North Carolina. And the principal there is Cindy Talbot. If you ever need to contact her, information is right here. And in here, what you are seeing is, look at all of the activities they have in that school. And their slogan is, working together to be safe, kind, responsible, and respectful. They have events that are part of their primary prevention. Examples are science fairs, family events, junior achievement, PBS support, morning news broadcast. So there's just so many things going on in PBS, and we are just so proud to bring this to Tennessee to you so that you can start to think about it. So basically, in a nutshell, PBS is a strategy that does work. It is something that you ought to take a look at, and it does work at all levels.